Not all breast surgery is created equal. Hi, I'm Sherry from Twin Sisters Mastectomy Boutique, and this is something I see all the time, but let me share it with you. I had a very nice lady who I saw about a month ago, and she had a lumpectomy surgery scheduled. So a lumpectomy is when they don't take off your whole breast due to cancer, they take a lump out. So they call it a lumpectomy, or sometimes they call it a partial mastectomy, or sometimes they call it breast conserving surgery. It's all the same thing. It's part of your breast is taken away, and so you're left with, a smaller breast than the other one, but you still have a breast mound there. And for her post-op care, we put her into a post-op bra. This has a high cotton content, does up in the front, not a lot of seams, a nice, wide back, super comfortable bra. It also has pockets for a breast prosthesis if you want to wear it later, because honestly, this is such a comfy bra. And the idea is to help stabilize tissue in the chest area after your surgery. And if somebody needs drainage tubes, you can attach the pockets here. And for her surgery, she was going to have the lumpectomy and then some reconstruction. Well, that didn't end up happening. So she ended up just having the lumpectomy, no reconstruction, but they took a significant amount of breast tissue away. Fine, no problem. She recovered, and then, as they do in the hospital, they send that tissue away, make sure that the margins are clear and all that good stuff. And she got a call back and said, you know what, we're actually gonna have to go back and take the whole breast off. I've heard this a lot. And it is really hard for that person because they're like, okay, I chose this surgery, because she probably had a choice. Do you want the whole breast off? Or, the recommendation of the surgeon was likely like, you can get away with a lumpectomy. So it's a nerve-wracking decision, and then you find out that it was not the best choice for you. Not your fault. Your healthcare team advised you, and it's not their fault. They thought they were doing the right thing, but they sent away the tissue to be analyzed, and they told her, you need to have your breast fully removed. And totally get it. So she is scheduled for a mastectomy surgery, and she's going to have immediate reconstruction with an implant. Or she might have, depending on how the surgery goes, an expander put in, which is like a flat breast prosthesis, and every month you go and get it pumped up until it stretches the tissue, and you can actually put in a breast prosthesis. So either one of those, she won't know until she comes out of surgery which one she had, because that's just the way it works sometimes. So she called me up and she said, hey Sherry, just to let you know, I'm at the hospital and this is what they've told me I need done. So I might have to come back and get some more post-op bras. I'm like, okay, but could you do me a favor and ask them a question? And she's like, yeah. I said, ask them if you need a compression bra, which is like this. It's more like a vest. And this gives 360 compression. So unlike a sports bra that just compresses you here, this gives you 360 compression. This is a medical garment. When you do it up in the front, it is not meant to zip up easily. You're gonna have to struggle to do it up, because if it zipped up easy, it wouldn't be doing its job. It's meant to be tight and compressing, still allowing you to breathe properly and move and eat, which means that you have to be fit properly by somebody who knows what they're doing. Ordering online for this type of product is not a great idea, in my experience. So she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm downstairs at the hospital. Let me run upstairs and ask them again. So she did. She ran upstairs, she asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, you need, compression. Nobody had told her that. She would not have known. She would not have bought a compression garment. She would have, how would she know? So she's like, thank goodness we talked. Thank goodness I called you from the hospital. I'm like, no problem. That's what I'm here for. So anyway, the hospital staff or the healthcare team that she's working with were very helpful. They said, yes, you need a compression garment that zips up in the front. And there you go. So we've booked her in for next week, and she's going to be fit with her compression garment. And here's the thing. No two surgeries are the same. What's right for one surgery, this was perfect for her surgery, the first one, is not right for the second surgery. And these are not interchangeable. So if she had worn this for her lumpectomy, it would have been overkill. It would be like taking an entire bottle of aspirin because you have a headache, right? 2 aspirin, 2 Tylenol is enough, but this is like a whole bottle. But this is appropriate for the surgery she's having. And this would do her absolutely no good in the surgery she's having now. This is good for her lumpectomy surgery, for some mastectomy surgeries, but because she's having reconstruction, this would be useless. So your post-op garments are medical devices, and you need to choose the correct ones. I've even had doctors in here who have had mastectomy surgery or what have you, and because it's not their area of expertise, they might be pathologists or pediatricians or whatever. They don't know, and they don't get it right sometimes. And I always ask them to go back and refer to their healthcare team, because just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you know everything, right? Although sometimes we put that pressure on them. So make sure that whatever kind of surgery you're having, you ask the questions. And I'm going to share this with you. I was doing a webinar yesterday, and we were talking about post-op garments, and one lady put up her hand and she said, ask the questions. You know, she was telling the group, ask the questions, because she said, I didn't know what to ask. I had no idea about things. She had an emergency mastectomy, bigger story. And she said, I didn't know what to ask. So I did my own research. I, MacGyvered my own things. And she says, if I had known this information before my surgery, life would have been so much easier. But you don't know what to ask, right? Like, how do you know what to ask? And you're depending on your healthcare team to tell you. And sometimes they just assume that you know, because they do this every day. If I cook an egg every day and I ask you to cook an egg, I'm going to assume you know how to do it because I think it's so easy. But maybe you've never cooked an egg before. Does that make sense? So, I'm rambling, but ask the questions. If you're not sure what questions to ask, you can ask them, like, what should I know? What should I, you can Google probably, what questions should I ask about breast cancer and my surgery and what garments I need. There's resources, sometimes people call me, but I don't think I'm the first person that comes to mind when you think, oh, what should I ask my doctor? You call me, but it happens. But I hope these videos are helpful for you so you know what to ask, or it gives you an idea. Always follow the instructions of your healthcare team, because everybody is individual. And just because this lady's healthcare team said, yes, you need a post-op garment for your reconstruction surgery, another surgeon may say no. Why? Maybe they have different techniques. Okay, so don't just blindly follow me or somebody else. Follow the instructions of your healthcare team. Let me know if you were well informed before your surgery, what you needed, or if you were kind of left holding the bag going, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what I need, because I kind of hear that a lot too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, put your comments down below, and we'll see you soon.